Hello, welcome everybody.
Hello.
We're back. Yeah, back in the camera. Sorry, we've been on for a while, guys, but we have a top 10 for you.
It's top 10 PS1 games. Our favourite top 10 PS1 games. So
Our.
Yeah. So sorry we've gone so long. It's just been like hectic. But now hopefully
We're back to normal. Enjoy.
So to begin with, at number 10 we have gone with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Developed by Neversoft and released in Europe on September 29th, 2000.
The player takes control of either a real-life professional or created skateboarder.
The aim of the game is to complete a number of tasks to earn money, which can be used to improve skills, tricks and get better skateboards. It is also used to unlock new levels in the game.
Pro Skater 2 was the first in the series to introduce the manual and the ability to be able to edit the combinations for tricks. It was also the first to have a Create a Skater and Park Editor modes.
There are also other features to the game such as single session, free skate and 2-player mode.
We've had a lot of fun playing this game over the years and feel as though it deserves the number 10 spot.
Coming at the number 9 spot, we have Castlevania, Symphony of the Night.
Developed by Konami and released in Europe on November the 1st, 1997.
The game's story takes place in the year 1797, 5 years after the events of Rondo of Blood.
You start the game by controlling Richard Belmont as you defeat Count Dracula, mirroring the end of the former game. However, despite Dracula being defeated, Richard vanishes without a trace.
Castlevania rises again 5 years later, and while there are no Belmonts to storm the castle, Alucard, the son of Dracula, awakens from his self-induced sleep and decides to investigate.
There are 4 separate endings to the story. If a certain sequence of events is followed, Richard is revealed to be under the influence of the dark priest Shaft. After he is defeated, an upside-down version of Castlevania appears from the heavens.
This is a very entertaining game which can keep you busy for hours and hours.
We really enjoy every aspect of this game, such as the way you have to level up your strength, defensive strength and luck. There are lots of different weapons and armour which increase your power, make you resistant to certain elemental attacks, or immune to specific status effects.
Overall, it's a beast of a game and it's well worthy of our number 9 spot.
At number 8 we have chosen Alien Trilogy.
Developed by Probe Entertainment and released in Europe in March 1996.
Alien Trilogy takes many elements from the Alien film series, such as facehuggers, chestbursters, dog aliens, adult aliens and queen aliens. It consists of 30 levels and 3 queen alien bosses. It features several weapons, including the pulse rifle from Aliens and other equipment such as the shoulder lamp.
The player takes control of Ellen Ripley as the game begins, just like the film. You travel to LV-426 to restore contact with the colony there.
The other Marines are wiped out, so Ripley must travel through the infested colony and prison facility, and finally the crashed alien ship itself, to destroy the aliens and escape.
This game was and still is a very enjoyable and scary experience. It has great levels and a perfect atmosphere to make you feel pretty tense.
It is a great game and still has the ability to make you feel nervous and scared, and it definitely deserves to take on number 8 spot.
So at number 7 we have gone with Spyro, Year of the Dragon.
Developed by Insomniac Games and released in Europe on November the 8th, 2000.
The main objective of the game is to collect special dragon eggs, which are scattered across 37 worlds. These eggs are hidden or are given as rewards for completing certain tasks and levels.
Year the Dragon follows Spyro as he travels to the Forgotten Worlds after 150 magical dragon eggs are stolen from the land of the dragons by an evil sorceress. Players travel across 30 different worlds gathering gems and eggs.
Year of the Dragon introduced new characters and minigames to the series, as well as offering improved graphics and music.
This game has fun graphics, a good storyline, and we have a lot of fun playing it. At number 6 we have Metal Gear Solid.
Developed by Konami and released in Europe on February 22nd, 1999.
During a training mission on the Shadow Moses Island, a remote island off the coast of Alaska containing a nuclear weapons facility, Foxhound and the Next Generation Special Forces rebelled against the United States government under the command of Liquid Snake.
Their target was the advanced weapon system Metal Gear Rex, a gigantic robotic weapons platform able to independently launch a nuclear warhead at any target on the face of the planet.
Their demand was the body of the greatest soldier who ever lived, Big Boss, which through gene therapy they could use to create an army of ultimate soldiers.
With the safety of the entire world at stake, at the request of the Secretary of Defense, Colonel Roy Campbell, the former commander of Foxhound, summoned Solid Snake out of retirement for one last solo operation to stop Liquid.
It also has 2 alternative endings depending on the player's actions.
We really love the idea of the Metal Gear Solid games. We are big fans of using stealth as your main weapon to sneak around and take out the enemies.
The number 5 spot is taken by Disney's Hercules.
Developed by Eurocom and released in Europe in November 1997.
The game follows the same storyline as the animated film. Hercules, son of Zeus, is stripped of his godhood and must prove that he is a true hero in order to regain his immortality.
Hercules must pass several tasks and defeat many villains, and at the end face Hades, ruler of the dead.
There are 10 levels to the game in 3 different difficulty modes: beginner, medium, and Herculean.
There are 3 rush levels in the game in which the player must run forwards through the map and avoid obstacles without being able to stop or fight.
Hercules is a great fun game. It's not the longest of games, but still an enjoyable one.
At number 4 we have Abe.
Developed by Oddworld Inhabitants and released on August 31st, 1997.
So you take control of the protagonist of the game, Abe, a Mudokon slave worker born into captivity. Abe is often described as a klutz. Its mouth is sewn shut, possibly to prevent its outcry.
Abe's odyssey begins with the protagonist as a prisoner in Maruptra Farms, from which he narrates his story. He and many other Mudokons are slaves to Moloch and Glockham, the owner of Maruptra Farms, the biggest meat processing plant on Oddworld. At the time of the story, the ingredients of the corporation's tasty treats, scrab cakes, paramite pies and meat munchies are quickly running out. While working late, Abe overhears Moloch's plans to use the Mudokon slaves as meat products called Mudokon Pops, which frightens Abe into escaping from the factory.
Throughout the game, you'll be solving puzzles, navigating obstacles and avoiding enemies.
Along the way, the player will encounter other Mudokons that he can rescue. By holding down the game speak button and pressing various commands, Abe can command them to follow him, stay put and activate mechanisms, as well as praise or scold them.
During the game, Abe is attacked by sligs, scrabs and paramites. Sligs will shoot on sight but cannot see through dark areas. Scrabs will attack anyone in their territory, while paramites will attack in packs and become shy alone.
This game is a lot of fun. It's pretty hard, but it can keep you entertained for a long time. We find ourselves constantly going back to this game. So at number 3 we have chosen Silent Hill.
Developed by Konami and released in Europe on August 1st, 1999.
As the game starts, Harry is driving to Silent Hill with his daughter Cheryl for a vacation. At the town edge, he swerves his car to avoid hitting a girl in the road. As a result, he crashes the vehicle and loses consciousness.
Waking up in town, Harry soon realises Cheryl is missing and sees that the town is deserted and foggy, with snow falling out of season.
Eventually, the darkness begins taking over the town. According to Dahlia, the girl from the side of the road is a demon responsible for the symbol's duplication. She urges him to stop the demon because if he does not, Cheryl will die.
In our opinion, this is a very good game. It has the ability to scare you countless times, no matter how much you play it, and it gets you every time.
We love the storyline, puzzles and overall atmosphere to this game. It's well worthy of our number 3 spot.
At number 2, we have Crash Bandicoot Cortex Strikes Back.
Developed by Naughty Dog and released in Europe on December the 6th, 1997.
Taking place right after the previous game's events in which Crash Bandicoot fights Dr. Neo Cortex on top of his airship. Cortex is defeated and the rock sled he is standing on explodes. Cortex falls to the ground and he lands in a mine where he discovers a large crystal and has a flash of inspiration.
1 year later, he is seen in a space station being told by his new assistant, Dr. Engine, that to harness the Master Crystal's power, he will require an additional 25 slave crystals, which are scattered across the Earth.
Since Cortex doesn't have any friends left on the surface, he decides to abduct Crash and persuades him to gather the slave crystals, telling him he will use them to harness the power of the aligned planets and prevent the Earth from certain doom.
At the end, when all the crystals are collected, Coco reveals that Cortex actually intended to harness the force of the crystals to turn every single creature on Earth into Cortex's mindless slaves with his new and improved Cortex Vortex. But Crash defeats Cortex once again, banishing him to deep space.
We spend a lot of time playing this game. It has great levels, bosses, and a really good look to the game.
It has great music and we can just seem to play it over and over again, so it has a great replayability factor to it.
So our favourite PS1 game of all time is Resident Evil. free.
Developed by Capcom and released on September the 22nd, 1999.
So Resident Evil 3 begins 24 hours prior to the events of Resident Evil 2 and follows Special Tactics and Rescue Squad member Jill Valentine as she attempts to escape from Raccoon City.
Nearly all of Raccoon City's citizens have been transformed into zombies by an outbreak of the T-virus, a new type of biological weapon secretly developed by the pharmaceutical company Umbrella.
To advance through the game, the player is challenged to explore the fictional Raccoon City while avoiding, outsmarting and defeating various types of enemies. The player can open doors, push certain objects, climb obstacles and pick up items.
Unlike in previous Resident Evil games, the player is occasionally prompted to choose between one of two possible actions. These choices affect the direction of the game and story. Additionally, a creature called Nemesis is encountered multiple times throughout the game as a recurring boss. Nemesis is considerably more powerful than the player and has the ability to use a rocket launcher as a weapon, dodge incoming fire and pursue the player from one area to the next.
When getting to the end of the game, you must defeat Nemesis with the help of the prototype railgun before meeting up with Carlos and escaping the city via a helicopter piloted by STAR's Alpha Team weapons specialist, Barry Burton.
The final cutscene of the game shows the nuclear missile vaporizing Raccoon City and its infected population.
This game definitely deserves our #1 spot because this game is a beast and it has amazing storyline, great puzzles, and we find ourselves playing it repeatedly.
For us, we just can't get bored of this game. Every time we play it, we have a blast and it never disappoints.
Disappoints.
So thank you for watching our top 10, everybody.
Thank you, hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. And make sure you put in the comments, if you can put in the comments your top 10 if you want,
Yeah.
how you like yours to go. Or,
If you agree with us on any.
Yeah, make sure you put in the comments.
And hopefully, we can start getting regular videos out again.
Let's see.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking.
Ah.
Hopefully we can start getting regular videos out
Yeah.
again.